What's going on? It's your cousin Polly Rob. Welcome to another episode of the Polly Rob podcast. I appreciate everybody showing love. You know what I'm saying? Always supporting everything that I do. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the notifications at the top left or right hand corner, whichever way you watching this video. You know what I mean? Let's get right into it. Diddy might be getting out soon. I know it's a shocker. They gave him a little over 40 months or so, but it looks like he's entered into a new appeal, and his argument this time is more alongside the lens of although he's been convicted of the smaller charges, he hasn't been convicted of the major charges, which would warrant, a bigger sentence that he pretty much got. So what his defense team is saying is he needs to be properly awarded release because he feels like the actual sentence that he got is just a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much. Now, when it comes to the actual charges that he was convicted of, they might have a case. But that's not what I'm really here to talk about per se. Does he have a chance of getting out this week? Yes, he does. He has a very strong chance of getting out. But let's think about this. And I know this is not logical, but I just got to say it. Maybe the sentence wasn't just about what he's done in the initial court case. Maybe his sentence was just his karma. Can we talk about that? Maybe his sentence was just karma. And I'm not here to put karma on nobody, because who am I? But I will say this. We all have experience in our world, in our lifetime, being on this earth, being a creator, being someone who understands what energy is like, understanding what treating people the way you want to be treated is like. What goes around comes around. These are sayings. These are things that just didn't come out of nowhere. It exists in some cases. Does it exist on a realistic level? Not all the time. But when you look at Diddy's case, you start to kind of think like maybe it's not going in his favor because of the things that he's done in the past. Maybe because he didn't give somebody a fair contract, or maybe because the way he was treating said women was not in good faith of being, number one, being a good person, and number two, being a good mate or companion. Maybe these, and I'm not saying this is true. But maybe these court proceedings have not been going in his favor because these lawyers, maybe these judges are deliberately trying to give him a hard time because they feel like whether he is guilty or not guilty in this particular case, at some point in time, they feel like he deserves it. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. People think he deserves it, whether he's guilty or not of whatever they're charging him with in the previous case. People just feel like he's guilty. We've seen the tape. We've seen the hotel tape. We've seen what can happen when Diddy gets angry towards women. We've seen that. Is that relevant to his appeal in his case on the evidence level? Maybe not. I don't think so. I think that they're going for the punishment doesn't fit the crime. That's what they're pretty much saying. That's what Diddy's lawyers are pretty much saying. The judgment does not fit the crime. But as a creator, we all know that there's sometimes just some level of energies where it's like, maybe this is something that you really need to, maybe Diddy really needs to sit down. Maybe the energies is saying that. Maybe the reason why he keeps getting declined on these cases because maybe he really needs to sit down and deal with himself. I don't know if he's thought about that yet. I know he's constantly fighting, which you should definitely fight. If you're getting put in a predicament that you feel like you did not do or it's not fair, for sure, fight. I'm just posing the question, did Diddy think about maybe he just needs to sit down and just get better, be a better person? Do you think he's going to learn his lesson while being on the outside? Do you think he's going to change while being on the outside? Maybe he's being treated unfairly in this appeal situation because maybe there's some people who just want him to really, really pay for crimes that he probably committed that's not a part of this case. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe Diddy being unfairly treated is his own medicine. Maybe it's his own medicine. And we got to think about something like that too. Like, we know that eventually the way we treat people, it'll come back to us in ways that we don't even realize. It might come back in a business deal where you felt like you nailed this business pitch and you realize that one of the people who make the final decisions heard this story where you treated somebody that they deem as a friend, you treated them bad. So they decide to not give you this deal and this budget. Or maybe you shitted on somebody who didn't deserve it at that moment, but you was just in your bag. You was just on your bully. And then it comes back to haunt you because now when you're looking for an opportunity, that same person is in a better position. In fact, they're in your position that you wanted to be in. Maybe there's things that we all do in the dark that although may not come to the light, but the karma still exists. The karma still comes by way of improper sentencing, by way of so many different reasons. I can only name a few. So many different reasons. I want y'all to think about that. This blog is not necessarily to cover whether Diddy needs to be out or not, or whether he will get out or not. Time will tell. But I want y'all to think about these other elements of what's important when you're moving forward. When you're treating people how you're treating them in the industry. How small this industry really is. And when you really pay attention, you realize that there's people who are just 1 or 2 degrees away from you that you don't even know yet. There's plans being put in place based on how you treat people, for better or for worse. If you ask my opinion about Diddy and how these appeals are going, in my opinion, I think that there's a higher energy, there's a higher power that's controlling this layout. that wants him to truly learn his lesson. Sorry, I'm not trying to preach to y'all. I just want y'all to think about that for a minute. Put it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. There's a different energy that wants him to learn his lesson, maybe for good. Maybe he needs to sit out those 40 to 50 months to really learn how to continue on with life in good faith, because after this he has a substantial amount of time to live his life still. Maybe this is the point where if you learn your lesson now, you might have redemption later. Who knows? I want y'all to think about that for a minute. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think Diddy deserves to be out now, currently, within the week, or within a couple months? Or do you feel like he needs to serve out the rest of his sentence, regardless if they feel like he needs to get a fair sentencing? Let me know what y'all think in the comments, and we're going to talk about that more, because there's a lot more situations that occur like this where some people just might get their karma energy a little earlier than they thought they would. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know what it is. The Constant Poly Rob. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Workload.